The Vorkath event is sort of like the Golden Party Hat hunt or the Golden Cape hunt, where you collect all of these shards and then, in this case, turn them into Mr. Mordot in Fort 4 and 3. Then you get a buff of infinite porter and infinite health and prayer regeneration outside of combat. The event is over, so if you haven't completed it or already used up your 2-week buff, I'm sorry, but I figured there's enough of you with the buff who will appreciate some ideas for the weekend or can at least take advantage of these ideas if the buff returns with another event. Most uses of the Porter buff are already well discovered, but there's a ton of potential with the health and prayer regeneration that people haven't seen yet. First, we have Rasial. I realize this is a very tough boss fight for most people, especially that last phase. Well, there's some good news. When you get to the final phase of Rasial, when he teleports on top of the stage, you can actually surge and bladed dive to the other side of the arena and take no damage. So your character, it'll just exit combat and you can wait for ability cooldowns, health regeneration, and adrenaline restoration to all take effect before surging back and attacking him. The health and prayer buff is huge here. Get through those first 3 phases and then surge and dive away and let your character exit combat. You can heal your blood reaver, let health and prayer go all the way up, and take the persistent rage relic so you get full adrenaline. Then use anticipate and devotion with the protect from necromancy prayer and go attack Rasial. You take no damage and you'll be able to surge away again to restore. Just make sure to maintain stun immunity or your prayer will get disabled. This is a great way to cheese the final phase while you learn, but obviously not good once you know how to properly do the boss. This method also works for bosses like Zuck, where you can wait between phases to restore your health and prayer, which makes that fight a lot easier. Next up, we have the Mage Training Arena. If you're going for the comp cape, you need to unlock Bones to Peaches. The graveyard room is a bit of a pain since you need to eat a bunch of food to sustain yourself. Well, guess what? You don't need to with this buff. Just hop in, get all the graveyard points your heart desires, and unlock that cape. If you're an Iron Man who needs infinity boots for clues, this is also a great opportunity for you. I should note there are other ways to sustain yourself here, like using Excalibur and expensive spices with magnetic minnows, but the buff is just so chill compared to that, so I really like to use it here. Third, we have killing Nihils, I don't know how to pronounce it, correct me in the comments, in the Personal Slayer dungeon. The health and prayer regeneration won't work since you're in combat, but the Porter buff allows you to bank all of the summoning components instantly for free. This is a solid AFK money-making method and decent experience. The requirements are a bit steep, however, and you'll need a Slayer dungeon with Nihils. I suggest using magic with this action bar from PvMe to kill them, but necromancy probably slaps here too. I'll also link a video example in the description that shows the full method. If Nihils are a bit much for you, I have an alternative method on the exact opposite side of the spectrum. Killing cows is actually something like 5 million GP per hour. The issue is the cost to bank the hides and beef with porters is so high you don't profit, except with events like this. I use the Tome of to bank the bones for me, and then the porter buff to bank the meat and skin. The downside is you can't place a cannon in the ideal cow pen, so you need to manually click them or use aggro potions. You can place a cannon in the chicken coop to the northeast of Lumbridge. The chickens respawn much slower than cows though, so it's not as good, but if you want some AFK cash at a lower level, I guess this works. It's also great if you collect eggs because the porter banks all of the eggs for you. There really are much better methods than this. I just found this one kind of interesting. Next, we have Cabbage Facepunch Bonanza to unlock Seedicide. Often you'll die from flames and gorilla hits, which messes up your points, but with the health regeneration buff, that's no longer a concern. Unfortunately, I discovered the grouping system is actually broken for Facepunch right now, so I wasn't able to start a game. If anyone knows a workaround, let me know. For this reason, I will be giving you a bonus method, which is Phoenix Feather Stealing. The Thieving Cape knows these feathers for you, so this isn't terribly helpful if you're maxed, but I wanted to include the method because of the herblore side of it. Right now, making super anti-fire potions is about 10k profit per potion, which is about 20 million GP per hour training herblore. That's insanely good and definitely worth looking into if you need to unlock overloads. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe, and if you have any creative methods you want to share, hit us up in the comments.